It will probably go out of style when you get sick of it.
I am absolutely thrilled today to show you how a kitchen went from this to this, and more importantly, talk to the woman that did it. I'm James from thepaintpeople.com, but you already knew that. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Let's go and talk with Elsinore from Splash of Charm, who is an absolutely wonderful painter that has an incredible methodology to the kitchen design process. Come along and listen to our conversation because there was a lot of fascinating things that were said, and she also mentions her favorite white paint colors to use on cabinets. And I'm pretty sure there's some of you that are definitely interested in that information.
My name is Elsinore Blass. I run Splash of Charm. We paint furniture and kitchen cabinets.
Seems like there's so many aspects of kitchen design. How do you know where to start?
It starts with the paint color. It's one thing at a time, because if we start talking about all the pieces at once, it starts to get overwhelming. Good decisions aren't made at that point. So we start with the color and then we move on to the hardware.
Can we talk about the hardware? Because it looks pretty cool.
It all started with the faucet. She was looking for something that would match the faucet, and she actually found these and said, these are it. Hardware is basically the jewelry of cabinetry, and it really it's the bling, the final touch of the cabinets. And I think these ones, they've got such a sophisticated roundness to it. It makes it pop.
I'm loving this two-tone look. Would you say it's pretty popular nowadays?
Very popular these days, but we've been doing this for a long time. So I think just now, a lot of people are painting their kitchen cabinets, and so you're seeing a lot of variations of different things. Painting white kitchens, painting different colored islands, even lowers and uppers, different two-tone kitchens. This has been happening for a long time.
When would be a good time to paint your upper and lower cabinets different colors versus just going with a different island color?
I think it just depends on the person, the kitchen. If there's a lot going on in the counter, maybe if there was like a lot going on in the backsplash, I advise to stay with one color because there's just too much going on. But if they're doing a counter that has got more of a clean look, like this one, for example, white, then we can kind of explore having two tones.
I'm really curious about the color selection process. Is it more so you presenting ideas, or is it the client?
When they come to me, they usually know whether or not they want something different. And so I kind of feel out my client to see if they need more help in that. If they've already been looking at the magazines or Pinterest, or maybe they went to a friend's house, if they've got the idea in their head, then we explore it. But then we kind of talk through it, and then we arrive at somewhere else. I think a happy client is being able to set the expectation early on, and that's through pictures. Because if someone's thinking it, then there has to be a picture out there on Google, on Pinterest, and I think that's where it starts. If I am able to show them, this is kind of how your kitchen will look like, this is what we've been talking about, are you okay with that? Then they'll, it's just more of a dialogue. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be collaborative. At the end of the day, if I'm going to recommend something, it doesn't actually matter if they're not happy with it.
When picking colors, what's the first thing you ask your client?
I usually start the conversation with, how do you want your kitchen to make you feel? Do you want it to make you feel warm and cozy, or do you want it to make you feel modern and fresh and that type of thing? You can achieve both, but typically if the person likes the style of traditional, then we go towards warm whites. If they want something more modern, then we go with a cooler white, or maybe even one with a gray undertone, like Oxford white. If they're adventurous, then we'll start talking about color. So I recently did one in green. Not the whole thing, I'm sorry, just the island. And she loves it. That excites me. Because we're able to, we get to talk through it, and I get to help with the process, but also show them different ways that we can achieve their look.
I'm dying to know, what color did you end up going with for this island?
We've got Hail Navy. It can look black at night, and when the sun's shining in, it's an obvious navy blue. You can see it's a calming blue. It's not in your face. I would even consider it a neutral. But paired with white, it gives it a classic look. I don't think it will ever go out of style. It will probably go out of style when you get sick of it. That's what I tell people. It won't go out of style. It's how you feel. Are you going to get sick of this? Do you see yourself getting sick of things easier? If so, then let's talk about a more neutral color.
So did this client know they wanted Hail Navy right from the start?
Usually what happens is they'll come in saying, I want a navy blue. And I'll make the recommendations. Okay, we can try this one. I've tried this one before. This one's a nice, deep, dark blue. Or I'll recommend something else I've used in my past before. And I'll make it known that you're not tied to these colors because Benjamin Moore's got 3,500 different colors to choose from. So let's work on it together. A blue undertone, a greenish undertone. Do you want something that pairs well with gold hardware or silver hardware? There's so many different variables, and I think just exploring that helps choose the color.
And what about the white paint color?
Okay, so I didn't choose this color. Erin, she chose a color. I recommended whites that I've used in my past, but what ended up happening is Erin went and did her own research and came back to me and said, I want decorator's white. I felt comfortable using it because I used it on furniture, I was familiar with it.
What do you really think?
Okay, it wasn't my favorite when I used it the first time on furniture, and that was because I was used to using cloud white. But it looks great in this kitchen, and now I'll be able to recommend it with confidence because I've used it, it looks great, and it's so elegant.
This line of work isn't easy, so how do you get through it?
I think the way that we tackle these is no stress. Everything about this whole thing is I'm trying to get the clients in the mode that this does not have to be a stressful transformation. We take things in manageable pieces so that we're not stressing ourselves out, because I think that when we aren't stressed out, then it just allows everyone to enjoy the process. I think there's a lot of good and love and that goes into a project. It's just something that our clients feel too. It sounds so simple, but it used to be very stressful. But as soon as we took that tone of not making small things bigger, I think it just made a whole difference. We're able to work together a lot better. I say a lot of love in these cabinets. There's a lot of love, and our clients appreciate it. So something that I should say is that my favorite thing to paint furniture and cabinets is using white. It gives you this uplifting feeling, and it never grows old. I love every single time I paint a piece of furniture or a kitchen in white. I love it every time. I say to myself, this looks so good. And it comes from within. I actually feel I don't think I could ever get sick of this.
Do you have any go-to white paint colors?
Oxford white is one that I use for modern kitchens. I can appreciate it. I love doing them. Pairs well with that cool gray counter. My heart lies more with traditional, warm, cozy feeling kitchens. Cloud white was another one that I used. I haven't used that one in a long time because people just want whiter. There was a time that right now everybody just wants white, white, white. Chantilly lace is what's going on right now. But then I got the swing of that, and that's Balboa mist, which is not really considered a white. It's more of an off-white. The alternative to Chantilly lace is simply white. It just brings in that little bit of warmth. I like to push them down simply white. If they want stark white, we're doing Chantilly lace because it's kind of borderline. It's not institutional.
That's a wrap.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So good.